Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's Monday. That means it's time for Movie Monday. Today, on the way to Infinity War, we're getting so close. Thor Ragnarok. That's right, everybody. Welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers Movie Monday. We are doing an MCU Rewatch. We've been doing it all year long. We're getting excited because we're so close to Infinity War. I can smell the Infinity Stones. Absolutely. Tonight we're talking about Thor Ragnarok, the third part of the Thor trilogy, and what we thought about it. I am, of course, Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani, Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
And like I said, Thor Ragnarok. So when I first saw this movie, I did not like it. I did not like it at all. The trailers looked amazing to me, right? And it looked like such an impactful, serious type film, and that's not what the film is. The film is fun, and it's very humorous, and it's a romp, and it's not quite like some deep stuff happens to Thor in this movie. And at the time I first watched this, I just didn't think that you really felt the impact of all that. I felt it was too jokey, too much silliness, too much just whatever. I recently rewatched it in preparation for this video. I enjoyed it a whole lot more. A whole lot more. It does have some emotional impact, but not quite some of the emotional impact. It doesn't have some of the nuanced moments of the first Thor. Or maybe even in Thor Dark World. But don't like Dark World. I do think this movie is better than Dark World. And I do like this movie now that I've rewatched it. It's solid. After the disappointment of... I'm wanting Marvel to do a really just serious comic book film. Right? Like, that's what I want. And Doctor Strange, I was like, ooh, that could be it, but it wasn't, and it was boring. The Thor Ragnarok was not that either, but it wasn't boring. I think it's fun. Hulk is hilarious in it. Thor's funny in it. A lot of big, major stuff happens to Thor in this movie, and maybe it could have had more of an impact on it, but it seems like the point of this movie is just to have a lot of fun. To kind of, it's almost like they were like, Thor is the movies that haven't caught on quite as well as Iron Man or Captain America. What can we do? Well, let's take Guardians of the Galaxy and splash it into Thor and see what happens. And it does make a very beautiful movie with luscious colors, a scene-chewing performance.
It chews scenes?
Yes, by Kate Blanchett as Hela. This is a big movie. It's beautiful. It's funny. And it is kind of a fun romp. And so if you look back at the original movie night review that I did, I was really, really harsh on this movie, and I actually like it a little bit more now. So that was kind of a long backtrack of what I said back in November. What do you think about Thor Ragnarok, Jelani?
It's pretty good. It's a very decent film. It's Thor in his element, and that's one thing I think the other two films really don't touch on as much as I think they should. It's Thor out of his, well, not in his element. Let me take that back. It's kind of out of his element because it's kicking him out of Asgard. Yeah. Again, this time he loses a lot of things in Asgard, but it's a space adventure. It's more so of a space adventure. It's not based as much on Earth as it needed to be, as it has been in the previous two films. This is more so on a different planet, and even Asgard. And it works out a lot better for him because he's now mature again. Like, once again, he's not that roguish person that he was previously. He's not, stiff upper lip kind of Thor that he's always been. Those wear ups and downs, they're not coming out of him anymore. He's jokey now. He's been with the Avengers long enough, and he's done this for long enough to where he's just one of the guys now.
Yeah, and I like his new catchphrase. Because that's what heroes do.
Yeah. So he's grown as a character, and I really enjoy it. I love the colors. I love the colors of this film. Yeah. I love the camaraderie that all of the characters have with each other. Jeff Goldblum is my favorite.
He's the Grandmaster.
He is my jam. As he plays that character, and the things that go with his ship. It's my birthday!
It's my birthday!
I love it! It was one of my jams. And the director, Taika Waititi, he's
Korg.
He's Korg.
Yeah.
And he
Piss off Ghost.
Piss off Ghost.
He's
freaking
like
gone.
He's like one of the funniest people in the
This movie's so quotable funny.
It's so much.
Do you remember when you were a kid and you would watch a movie, like a comedy, maybe it was, say, like Ghostbusters,
right?
You know, or something, and you go to school and you guys would all be, do you remember the part? Do you remember? You can do that with this movie.
You can do this a lot.
Really did.
And it's now there are some downsides. Once again, it should have been darker. It should have been a darker film for what the tone is. Ragnarok in Norse mythology is the end.
Uh-oh, you almost slipped up, college boy.
Yeah, it would have happened. But I took classes, and in Norse mythology, this is supposed to be the end of
Ragnarok's the revelation, the apocalypse.
It's the Armageddon. And you had to... I didn't feel that in this film the way I should have felt it.
Even though Asgard literally does go through Ragnarok. Surtur is there and destroys... This was my... Let's switch over to Brooks real quick, and then we'll start getting into some more. Brooks, what do you think about this movie?
I love this movie, man.
I know you love this movie.
I love this movie. I mean, I've watched this movie 6 times.
And you just saw this movie 2 weeks ago for the first time.
Yeah, I've watched the movie 6 times. Well, 5 because one time I guess I watched it with director commentary, but
yeah, because those don't count.
Yeah, if you got that, I've watched it 6 times because like I watched it one more time like before doing this.
Okay.
Video.
You love it.
Yeah, I really love this movie, man. This movie is so fun. I love the soundtrack on this movie, man. That 80s synth rock.
It's the guy from Devo, Mark
Mother's Ball.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh yeah, from Rugrats and all that stuff. Yeah,
and it mixes. It kind of at times it mixes, you know, that synth music like
with
when he goes to Sakaar, he gets like, you know, goes all synthy, but then he comes back to Asgard. It's like it starts like synth bass line, and then it goes into, you know, the orchestral Asgardian type.
It's got some great music. It really does. Beautiful colors. We talk about how beautiful this film is. This is the most Kirby-looking Marvel film they've done yet. It just looks so Kirby-tastic. It's so fantastic and Kirby-tastic. It's great. I love it. You got the Kirby crackle, all the costumes that a lot of people in the background are wearing.
They're all dressed like Celestials.
Yeah, man. Super cool, super fun, light, fresh. And like Jelani said, I think it could have... It has lots of opportunity to get a little bit darker, a little bit more rich, a little bit more depth. But they always kind of took the jokey way out of that. That's what initially bothered me so much about this movie. It's why I don't love it more than Thor 1. I think you like this one more than Thor 1, right? And that's saying a lot, because we both love Thor. So it has some things that kind of take me back. Like, this dude loses his dad. Finds out he's got an evil sister. She breaks his hammer. And then all of a sudden, it's just this rollicking, this fun romp with the Hulk.
He doesn't have a whole lot of time to really process what's going through.
But he does, when I rewatched
it. When it happened, because like when Odin dies, like the first thing he does is he turns to Loki. He's ready to blame Loki. And then like he doesn't even have time to do that, because here comes Hela.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then like going through a rainbow bridge, flung out through space.
I mean, immediately.
Trapped in a net.
Yeah.
Valkyrie.
Tessa Thompson?
Tessa Thompson.
Amazing. More interesting than Valkyrie has ever been in any comic book.
Yeah, true.
In this movie.
She is not milquetoast.
Engaging, humorous, fun. Lots of there's characterization there. There's a story there. There's an arc there. A former Valkyrie, disgraced. She's in this planet, just like
her camaraderie,
basically selling people into slavery to pay for alcohol to drink herself to death.
She somehow got the Hulk to do it.
The Hulk is like friends with her. It's amazing. I love all.
So obviously this is kind of based on Thor Ragnarok, the whole Ragnarok story about Surtur's this giant fire demon. It's such a big deal. One of the things that immediately threw me off about this movie was how they punked Surtur out so quickly in the beginning. Yeah. But what pisses me off even more, because now you know that he comes back at the end and Ragnarok does happen, and he's actually a plot device to help defeat Hela, and I like that. But why the Warriors 3 got to go out like that, man?
Well, I mean, they went out like bitches.
Let them have a last stand. They didn't have nothing.
Sif didn't die.
Sif wasn't there.
Sif wasn't there. We still haven't explained where Sif was.
Hogan was the only one that actually got to have that last stand.
Yeah.
Volstagg and Fantrol just get taken out like that, dude.
It was like hella fodder, basically.
God, it was just so upsetting to me. Like, how as a Thor fan does that not upset you more?
It did bother me, but I understand why.
It could have been.
Because I mean,
I also don't think they did.
She doesn't just wipe out the Warriors 3. She wipes out like pretty much every soldier on Asgard except for Heimdall. Heimdall's like the only real soldier left.
Yeah.
And everybody else is just cannon fodder because we have no clue what's going to happen in Infinity War after this. But they're just you don't. Well, that's another problem I kind of have with the film. You don't get. I don't feel the urgency from the people that are in Asgard.
Yeah.
Like I don't. You get that moment where the lady is about to be killed by Scourge, and you don't. I don't really care or feel for her. I wanted to feel for these characters because, like,
it doesn't feel that epic or that deep or weighty. It doesn't feel like it has enough gravity to me.
Right. And it's kind of the same thing. And that's what's missing from a film that's supposed to be the end of Asgard. And I once again, I have no problems with it. I love this movie. This is, to me, the best Thor movie, in my opinion. So I agree with you. It's amazing. But I think I still want to bring up that part where it is a little too jokey. Okay. It may be a little too jokey for what it's doing.
Chris Hemsworth as Thor. I think this is one of his better performances as Thor. He doesn't get a chance to really... Because I was talking about how it doesn't seem like his dad dies. He finds out about Hela. He loses Mjolnir. And it doesn't seem to affect him. But when I rewatched it, I was paying attention to that. And there are moments when, even through all the jokiness, Hemsworth is doing his damnedest to get this across.
Yeah. The part where he loses Mjolnir.
Yeah.
How he loses Mjolnir and how Korg is like talking to him about it. And Korg, kind of relates.
Yeah.
And gets to him.
And also his little, his little fight with the Hulk is him, getting out some of that frustration that he was feeling at the time.
That's true.
Right.
But I think this is one of Hemsworth's best performances of the character. Otherwise than that, I love the haircut. I love the costume.
True. Yeah.
It really looks well.
Please don't cut my hair.
Yeah. So you guys all agree Hemsworth is good.
Hemsworth is awesome.
It's been a while since we've seen the Hulk back in that crappy-ass movie Age of Ultron. But the Hulk is back. He wound up on Sakaar. He, of course, is the champion. It's based on Planet Hulk. So it's like Thor Ragnarok meets Planet Hulk. It's kind of what it is. At the time, I said maybe they should have picked one and went with it.
Well, they could.
Maybe they still should have just picked one of those stories to go with.
Right.
Either do the Planet Hulk type thing with Thor in it, or do like a Ragnarok thing. Right. But it is kind of neat how they threw it together. I like the fun that was obviously had when they were making this movie. You can feel it. I like Hulk in this movie. I think there's a lot of good development there. I love the idea that he hasn't reverted back to Banner since. And that when he does revert, he's like, did we...
No Banner!
It's crazy!
Did we win? Is Ultron still out there? Like, where's Tony? And then he has to wear, like, Tony's shirt. They take something that is super traumatic, just like they did with Thor, and they ease him out of it with some jokes.
Pretty quickly.
And stuff. Yeah. Maybe a little quickly, and maybe there could be some things. But I don't want them to get too deep with Hulk because it's all like when they start watching Black Widow on the screen, and I'm just like, oh God, I'm reminded once again about this crappy love story in Age of Ultron.
I love it. Listen, anyway, I'll go on record as saying I love that love story. I love that it might even tie into the next film.
Oh God, I
love it. I love it.
What do you think about Hulk in this movie?
He's great.
And Mark Ruffalo's awesome.
Mark Ruffalo's awesome. He looks. I think this is the best looking the Hulk has ever been in CG. I love, by the way, I have not mentioned the CG. I didn't mention it last week, and I will mention it this week. This may be some of the best CG they've had in the films. I love that dog. I loved Hela. Yeah. The helmet that she just glides onto her head. I love all the colors because of the backgrounds and everything. I mean, everything about this is beautiful. So, what were we talking about again?
We were talking about Hulk. What did you think about the Hulk?
He was pretty awesome.
All right, what do you think about the Hulk in this movie?
I really liked the Hulk in this movie. I really liked his relationship with Thor too. You know how when he's like, okay, you're gonna come with me to Asgard. And Hulk's like, no, because he's happy here, He's finally like Sakaar is a world that was basically made for someone like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Someone who just likes to fight. And the people of Sakaar, love him too. Because, he walks out and there's a whole parade dedicated to his honor. And
they're building statues
he's like, when Thor's trying to convince him, he's like, you're Banner's friend. He's like, no, I don't like Banner.
And he says the same thing.
Yeah, and then as Banner's like, you're just trying to get to the Hulk through me, man. That's gross. Like, no, I don't like the Hulk. I much prefer you.
Yeah, I love that. They have a great little humorous chemistry together, especially when he's like, I think we're both like fire. Yeah, Hulk raging
fire.
Thor like smoldering fire.
Yeah, so Hulk's pretty fun in this
good.
movie, and it's nice that we haven't seen in a while. Hulk, Thor, their fight, that's awesome. Hulk being unleashed on the wolf, right?
Yeah,
Fenris.
Fenris.
And then going after Surtur at the end there. Like,
Big monster!
like, I thought Hulk was pretty well done in this film, and it's lots of big explosive
Once
action.
in your life, can you not smash?
We briefly mentioned earlier Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie. Let's talk a little bit more in depth about that. A great character. Lots of coolness to me. I loved her character in this movie. What do you guys think?
She's amazing. I'm glad that they picked Tessa Thompson for this role because she's great on Westworld. I didn't know who she was before this. She's also in the Dear Black People movie. She's one of the main characters in that.
Okay.
And she's a fantastic actress. So I'm glad they picked her for this role. She's quirky and funny and smart and drunk most of this movie. And
I love when she first shows up and she walks off the stairs.
Yeah, like she has this like wrestler interest, like you know the whole thing opens up and she like stumbles out, you know, like, and then all of a sudden she just falls over.
Yeah,
I love the gun thing she did with the gauntlets.
Yeah,
She
that's
just
cool
mowed all
too.
those people down.
Yeah. There's so many good scenes that she's in and that she does, and like I said, her chemistry with the Hulk is amazing as well. Like they're just the camaraderie that they have.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
she
like,
walks into his room, he like swings a giant hammer at her, and she just like slides under it and kicks him in the back of the head.
It's like what they do. It's just like they're playful friends.
They're always like, "What? How are you doing?" And didn't Hulk always go, "Winning"?
Yeah, and even when
You mean
he turns,
cheating?
yeah,
They have one of these.
and he like turns back to Banner, and Banner does some things, and she's like, "I like you."
I love it. She's like, "You gonna do this is weird."
I feel like I know you. That's strange.
She didn't know he was the Hulk the whole time. Oh god, it was great.
Yeah.
So I really liked her in this movie.
You like Valkyrie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I really like and one of my favorite scenes is when you know, she's fighting with Loki, and like, you know, he's fighting her, and then she just like basically like gets a punch on him, and she like smirks at him.
Yeah.
And then later on, like she has him pinned down, and he makes her remember what happened with Hela and the Valkyries.
Yeah.
That scene is fucking badass.
Yeah.
I just love that, like the slow,
Like they're
the whole
coming at
way
her.
the light is coming
Yeah.
in. It's like a fucking one of those, like a fantasy painting or something.
Yeah.
Brought to life.
Then of course you add in Loki with Valkyrie, with Thor, with the Hulk, and you got what were the Revenges?
I'm getting revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Loki in this movie? Back to a comedic role again,
Yeah.
of course.
Better than he was in the last two films.
But there's development still with Loki now. Like
Yeah.
Loki and Thor finally has learned not to trust Loki.
at all.
Oh, brother. You do this every time. I trust you. You betray me.
So I like Loki in this. My favorite Loki bit though is is once he sees Hulk show up and he's
Get
like,
off this planet.
I have to get off this planet.
And then when he starts smashing Thor around,
That's what it feels
that's
like.
what it feels like. I'm just a real fan of the sport.
When he comes back, he's there like a full week ahead of Thor after he fell off the Rainbow Bridge. Why did he not know that like the champion was Hulk?
He just hadn't gone there
No,
yet.
I guess I
you
hadn't
know?
been there.
Just hasn't been there yet.
It just but still,
Yeah.
the initial shock is amazing.
And also the opening of the movie where, of course, we leave Dark World with him in charge, pretending to be Odin.
Anthony Hopkins gets to play Loki in this movie.
Yes, and then you got Sam
shit.
Neill playing Odin and Matt Damon
Matt
playing
Damon
Loki.
played Loki.
I love that. That's so funny.
Oh, good
Oh my
cameos.
god.
Not
Korg is
out of
funny in this
nowhere.
movie. You got a Doctor Strange bit,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem
It's
necessary,
weird.
but on the second rewatch, it's like, it's nice that they got Doctor Strange.
I
in.
liked it. I liked that they did tie those
Yeah,
things together.
I've been falling
It makes
for
sense.
30 minutes.
It's like it makes sense, that if Loki came back to Earth, Doctor Strange would be like the one on alert.
Yeah,
for
be like,
that
okay.
situation.
We're gonna get this guy out of here.
And he's full blown Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, he's
with
even
those
got the
weird
dishwashing gloves.
Yeah. So he's a lot better in this.
Luckily, he's
film
not
than
going to
he
be
was in
wearing
the
those
first
in the Infinity Wars.
one. I think it is.
Yeah. Now, if it was the Dawn dish detergent wars, he would totally be wearing those. I don't know. Don't they look a little weird when he's wearing gloves?
I thought so at first, but
I mean, he wears gloves.
No, they don't look that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's covering up the scars. He's probably still self-conscious about the scars.
I think he was doing tissues.
Really?
What if he was? He's like, what? Loki? Let's get on this. Anyway.
Wow.
I don't know, I'm just joking. Korg is great. Like you said, it's the director voicing it. Korg is so funny. Like, he's not like that. He's not the character from the comics.
Hey, man.
At all.
We're getting on this spaceship.
You want to join the revolution? We didn't print enough flyers. Dude, it's so funny. And the dialogue is, dude,
he's amazing.
When Loki shows up, and he comes and just kicks it and he says, piss off, Ghost. And he's like, he's just going.
He's freaking going.
He's freaking. That's like, this is so funny to me, man.
I love when he's talking to the guy, he's killed him.
He's like, oh, and Meek's dead.
I killed him. Stumped him. I felt bad. I've been carrying him this whole time.
Wait, he's alive.
There's so many crazy parts.
He's out of nowhere.
The main villain, of course, is Cate Blanchett as Hela. Hela's one of my favorite Thor villains. I think she's awesome. She's got a great distinctive look with that headdress on. Yeah. I thought she looked awesome. She moved awesome. She just was one of these to me again. She had a little bit more motivation, though, because she kind of got ousted out of the limelight. But when she shows up, she's just like, don't you know who I am? She's like a Cruella de Vil more so than not quite as Maleficent as I wanted her to be. Does that make sense?
I suppose.
No, I think that
she does kind of ham it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's
but I think that kind
of
of fits in with how the character would act. You know, she's very imperious. Like she doesn't believe, she believes everything should just go her way.
Yeah.
And when things don't go her way, she's like, well, fuck it then. I'll just break everything around me.
And the other thing is, if they did make her so super serious and deep and dark, maybe that would have clashed with the tone of the Sakaar stuff too much.
It could have.
Maybe it would have been too unlike the Grandmaster, who we'll get to in just a second. You like Hela?
She's hella sick. She's awesome. She's a great villain that came out of nowhere for me. Because, once again, Odin dies. And he's like, before he dies, he's like, you have a sister. And I've been trapping her in this area. And the second I'm dead, she's going to be right out to do this. I'm like, the way she's introduced is just, it's messed up. Because the first thing she does really is destroy Mjolnir. And rest in peace, Mjolnir. I mean, it's my favorite. It's a worthy thing, man.
You just gotta get the pieces to some dwarf smiths, man.
Yeah, that's it. Or whatever. I want to make it better. I can't make it better. But, yeah, Hela was awesome. She needed to, I think that her subplot, though, it falls by the wayside to what the main story was, which was Planet Hulk. I think we should have focused, as you said before, on just Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
And not worried about the destruction of Asgard and what she would have brought to the table for that. She was a great villain in parts, and she's not the best villain, but I really don't think her plot, that whole area, is kind of filler. That whole part where Heimdall is trying to hide everyone and get everyone together, and she's there trying to kill them and get everything out. I didn't really like that plot.
It almost felt like, just get back to Sakaar.
Yeah, get back to Sakaar. Get back to what we're doing over here. It felt rushed to me. If you had another point of view character that you cared about, Heimdall was great. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he was more of a touchstone character that you needed. Like, if Sif was there, it would have given some more weight to it. I've always wanted to see that romance with Sif and Thor anyway.
Yeah,
so
they never
really fleshed it out that way. But I don't know. It just felt like a smaller subplot for her. She was great in the role. I just don't think what they gave her was enough.
Yeah, what about you? You like Hela?
Oh, yeah, I loved Hela.
Okay.
Hela was hella awesome.
Jesus, guys.
See?
I didn't think Scourge was that well. He was a little weak in the movie. Yeah. Like Carl Urban, I'm excited.
He did have his own kind of redemption arc, though.
Kind of, but I don't know.
It wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't really there for me.
There's one thing, throughout the whole movie, nobody ever chastises him for being a traitor.
No,
not once.
And it's like he doesn't have to have people, call him a traitor to realize he's done the wrong thing.
Yeah,
right.
I like that.
All right, one more thing before we get into the rankings. It's my birthday. Grandmaster.
It's my
Jeff Goldblum is a standout star in this movie. We thought Benicio del Toro as the Collector over in Guardians was awesome. Dude,
he's the best thing in this film.
He is
jamming out on
so
his keyboard.
funny. And then he when he's like, "Why are you giving me the gun, the melting gun?" Like,
You've been officially pardoned from life.
From life.
I thought Goldblum was hilarious. I love when he gets on his little DJ little area there, and he's just like this super sleazy just party guy.
I like when Valkyrie, when she makes a deal to film Thor, she pats him on the cheek, and he's like,
yeah. Just his gestures. He's Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. Basically, Taika Waititi was just like, you be yourself throughout this film.
You be yourself. Just
go for it.
You be cosmic Jeff Goldblum.
Oh. He
loved it so
nails
much.
He nails it. I mean, there are too many things that he does in this film that make me laugh, and it's like guttural laughing. When I watch the film again, because I watched it again, and he's the funniest thing next to Korg. I think between him and Korg it's close, but Goldblum wears it out. And even in the end credits.
Oh yeah, when he's like, "Well, you can't have a revolution without someone to."
It's a tie.
I declared a tie.
It's a tie.
That part, when Thor's going through his orientation thing that the Grandmaster does. It shows the
you talking about
the
silhouette
of the Grandmaster rising up. He does this little silhouette pose that just cracks me up for some reason.
I love it. All
right, let's get to the rankings. We do ya digs here. So out of 5 possible ya digs, Jelani, what do you rank Thor Ragnarok?
This is. I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
It's a solid 4.
Ya digs.
I take away 1. It's a great film. It's funny as crap. It's exactly what it needs to be. But at the same time, it's still called Ragnarok. I wanted that seriousness in the film at some point. I need to get a serious Marvel movie that's just not Winter Soldier. I don't want Winter Soldier to be my only serious film.
Yeah.
I wanted Ragnarok to, and the trailers kind of
made it seem like it was going to be.
I don't think Thor is going to work too well with the seriousness.
Well, they tried it with Dark World and saw what happened.
Yeah, because
well, I think they tried it with 1. I thought 1. I mean, it had funny
too. One kind of towed the line really well.
Yeah, but this is the best for me, the best Thor film.
Okay.
Of the trilogy. So yeah, I give it a decent 4.
Brooks. 5, of course. Why 5? Why so high?
I love this movie so much, and even I can acknowledge people when they point out flaws in the movie. It's it does have flaws, but I don't care. This movie is so good to me. It's I don't care. And I've even come to love the things I didn't, the little nitpicks I had about him.
Yeah, now you love him. Yeah. Now you're oh, how cute.
Yeah.
How cute.
Oh man, I hope Banner hits the bridge and breaks his neck.
That was a funny bit there. Yeah. 5, 4. I'm going to go 3.5. 3.5 you did.
Oh, wow.
And straight up, if you would have asked me in November, I would have been 1.5. But this movie has grown. This movie has grown. No, Age of Ultron, yeah, it's not that bad at all. It's actually a very good, respectable movie. Like you, I got some issues with it. Mm-hmm. Got some issues. I do want that dark, serious MCU film other than just Winter Soldier. I thought it could be Doctor Strange, and it definitely felt at times like it could be Ragnarok, because you're dealing with Surtur, the end of the thing, the goddess of death. But they gave us a buddy cop movie. But they gave us a really, really good buddy cop movie. It's funny. You saw how much fun we were just sitting here in this video reciting Korg and Grandmaster's lines. This movie's great. It's got really great stuff in it. It's not everything we wanted it to be, but it's probably more than the Thor film that we deserve. I don't even know what that means. But 3.5, 4, 5, giving it an average of Thor.
4 rhymes.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what we got for you today. What did you think about Thor Ragnarok? Let us know in the comments down below. And be sure to join us next week where we're talking about, you know it, Black Panther. So excited. Oh my goodness, too. That's Infinity War. So soon. So thank you guys for checking out the video. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is
Jelani Bullard.
This is
Brooks.
And like I said, we'll be back next week for Black Panther here on Movie Monday at Pop Culture Philosophers. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, and a whole lot more. You dig?